Hi, Nick. We're supposed to hear from Kyle today, and I just wanted to hear your thoughts on how he's performed in camp to date, and has he kind of taken up his regular role as you head into your last exhibition game?
Yeah, he's doing fine. Michael, again, he's in tremendous shape. Imagine the game shape will still be part of it coming forward, but he's looking good, moving around out there good, shooting the ball well, you know, certainly doing his leadership, impacting the game, the way he plays, and all those kind of things. It's good.
Are you have you talked with him about how to manage? I mean, I think it's 72 games in 150 days roughly. So is there going to be a bit of a different approach? And we've talked about the amount of depth you have in your backcourt. Does it affect how you might uh, play Kyle in the early going?
Yeah, probably. I think Michael, again, it's a little bit of a, you're riding that line of getting in shape and not overdoing it right early on. And then as the games start clicking off, I think there'll certainly be a little, a little bit of playing time management as well, um, going forward. And then, get them to a point, get them to some regular-ish minutes. And then depending on how the schedule lays out, per week or whatever, then I think make adjustments according to that as we go.
Appreciate it, Nick.
Okay, Michael. Have a good day, man.
You too.
Thanks, Thanks, Michael. We'll go to Mike Ganter next.
Hey, Nick. How are you?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Good, thanks. Just want, and this might be a bit premature, but how far along are you in figuring out which one of your starters you want to run back with that second unit?
Still experimenting. I think, Mike, with that, I tend to lean probably towards something similar in the past early on until something else presents itself, which, would probably mean, at this point, Mike, Kyle, out early and back, and then probably OG out early with a shift, and he comes back maybe a shift to the 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what I would lean towards initially. Yeah.
Is anybody in the sort of pecking order that you might not have thought beforehand, like just off of 2 games? I know.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I think that it's hard from what I've seen so far to keep Bembry off the floor.
Yeah.
Right. I think again, it's a utility guy, kind of bigger, a little bit bigger guard that could probably shift up positions. I mean, he might be guarding a bigger guy at one end and still bringing the ball up the floor at the other, right? He's kind of a combo type player like that. So, and again, I think he's shown that he's a good basketball player, 2-way player. But in saying that, he seems like he might be a guy that fits really good with the starting group as an early sub to play with them. Is kind of what they need. A cutter, defender, pretty high IQ guy that maybe fit in really good with those guys. But we'll see. It's a lot of jostling around and a lot of experimenting probably to come.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks, Nick. Stay well.
See you, Mike.
See you.
Thanks, Mike. We'll go to Tim Reynolds next.
Hey, Nick. This is probably a bit of a foolish question, but it's never stopped me before. I know you're busy. I know you've got a lot going on this time of year. But I'm curious, and you can't really go out and about freely either. I'm curious how well you've gotten to know Tampa. I'm curious if Tampa feels a little bit comfortable, at least at this point. Or is it just kind of a hotel and a gym right now still?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I know Tampa very well. I haven't been out to eat anywhere or anything like that. They got a very nice aquarium here. I have gone to the aquarium and in the way that you do those kind of things these days. Schedule my appointment and go through at my regular time and all that kind of stuff. Got outside and walked around a bit. It's certainly pleasant to do that, but yeah, I'm just I'm a little cozy. If I be honest with you, I'm a little cozy staying at the hotel and walking across the street to the practice facility, and then walking another 400 or 500 yards to the arena. It's very convenient, and it's a great setting for work, which this time of year kind of what you're setting yourself up for. So there's not a lot of wasted time here. That I get a full day in here of work because everything's so convenient.
Is this going to ever feel normal? I mean, I know you're hoping to go back in March. I mean, I think we're all. I mean, is it going to? Is this just it? I mean, have you accepted it? Is it normal already? Is it going to be
It's it for now, Tim. Right? I think we gotta accept it. I don't think. Is it ever going to be normal again, man? I don't know. I guess that remains to be seen. Even if we get back to, somewhat normal. I don't know if it's ever going to seem as normal as it once was, but. And yeah, we got to do it. I look at it kind of the other way. I'm really thankful we're able to be safe, as safe as we can be, and continue to do this. And it's certainly super fun to go to work every day and try to figure out what we can make of this team and this roster, and super fun to have the competition coming at us here shortly.
Appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
We'll go to Steven with Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for doing this. Going back to what Mike was, what Ganter was saying earlier, you mentioned before how in that number 8 spot you want a little more certainty there, and you kind of mentioned Matt there, but like given the fact you mentioned Bembry, you also mentioned Malachi Flynn. Does that kind of change your thinking now? How you may want to go to a more platoon system there in that spot?
I guess I'm still thinking about it. If my pause is any, really not really sure how to answer it. I think that, some of my best laid plans sometimes, Stephen, or my wishful thinking, whichever way you want to look at it, usually changes night to night, or depending on who we're playing or whatever. The fluidity of guys in, guys out changes that all the time too. I guess my point I've been trying to make is that I think that there's some spots there that need some consistency, right? And that's what I would hope to be able to develop, but I don't see it as a necessity, right? I don't see it like it's going to be really disappointing if it doesn't work out that way. Well, it's not going to be disappointing because I'll play the guy that I think needs to play on the night, and there's bunches to choose from, right? That is tricky, but it's just the way it is, and it's I'm sure it'll kind of play itself out too a little bit, which will help my decision making as well.
So is it just generally just this is a good problem for you to have, like knowing that you have this many options at your disposal at any given night?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Again, I'm trying to find the best one, right, and a consistent one. That's what I think the plan would be, that we know what we're rolling out there and who's playing, somewhat consistent minutes, et cetera. But you can only play so many, right? That's the other thing. I'm, we're shortly here into a regular season game that counts, and I know how this goes. When the second unit doesn't perform well, there's going to be a whole list of guys you guys are going to be asking me about after the game. Why didn't they play? And even though we've already played 10, there's going to be wondering, where was this guy, and where was that guy, and where was this guy tonight? Just can't play them all. That's the kind of opening point that we're at, and we're trying to figure out who to play.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yep, you're welcome.
Thanks, Steven. We've got time for a couple more. We'll go to William Liu first.
Hey, Nick. Watching the first 2 preseason games, obviously that's the biggest takeaway, is 2 preseason games specifically. It seems like Fred has taken an even bigger scoring load and also kind of a bigger leadership role. Is that kind of what we can expect this year from Fred, both in terms of scoring and even just leadership off the court?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's kind of got both of those characteristics in his arsenal, right? He is kind of a natural leader anyway, and he always has been, even as a rookie. You know, our younger player, he's still pretty young. But, you know, Kyle wasn't out there either, so that maybe shifted the focus a little bit, you know, with those 2 preseason games. But, you know, I see Fred as a guy who can score, right? And I see him that he takes his opportunities when they're there. And we need him to be aggressive and take opportunities and look for opportunities as well. But I think, again, you know, Kyle's going to be a main primary scorer too, so that probably trims some of that down a little bit for Fred.
Right. And then I guess one question I always wanted to ask you about Fred, it feels like there's a little bit of an incongruency in terms of he drives to the rim a lot, and that's a big focus of the offense, is to have obviously guys penetrating, getting into the rim, getting to the paint touch, things like that. But his efficiency at the rim is maybe lower than, let's say, compared to league average. Is that something that's kind of incongruent to you, or is that almost sort of missing the point? Because once someone gets through the paint, then good things are going to happen in general. Well,
I think just an aggressive mindset that we like to have. We got to have those actions. I wish that he would get to the free throw line a little more. I really feel he gets knocked around a lot, and for whatever reason, he doesn't get a lot of the physicality calls to go shoot free throws. I'm hoping that we can improve on that a little bit. I believe he earns them by getting that deep and taking all that contact, which, you know, leads to, you know, it's tough when you get hit down there and it's not called to make them, right? That hurts the efficiency. He is a good finisher, as you know, as well. Mm-hmm. But you know, we got to kind of balance that out a little bit.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Will. We'll go to Chris O'Leary from Raptors.com. Chris, are you there?
Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. Calling in from my phone and not my computer, so it's wonky. Nick, you had mentioned yesterday that I think you guys were going to practice at the arena today. I was just wondering if you did do that, how it went, your impressions of, I guess, just the court and the locker room.
Yeah, we did. Just finished up, as you probably know. It's good. It looks good, man. The court's great. Still wandering around a little bit. You know, these arenas don't have GPS down here to find my way around, but everything is good. We have good coaches' offices and working space, and locker room looked good, all that stuff. But they did a nice job. The court looks great.
As far as the court, is there any way that it can kind of trick you guys into feeling like you're in Toronto a little bit?
Well, it's a Raptor court, so yeah. It feels like we know who we are anyway when we're on the court. And we'll see. We'll have to get used to it a little bit. We haven't been in arenas much, right, for a lot of months, so I thought it was a good idea to get over here, and we'll have, another shoot around possibly tomorrow. At least guys can get over here and shoot for sure a little bit.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks, Chris. Last question today. I'll go to Vivek Jacob from the CBC.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for taking the time. One of the themes of Kyle's time in Toronto has been the way he's been able to quickly establish chemistry with the bigs. With sort of a new big rotation, how have you seen that play out so far between Baines and Len?
Yeah, I've seen a whole lot of time with him and Len. Usually Baines is out there working with the first unit. It looks good. I mean, Kyle likes bigs that screen and free him up, and Alex has been able to do that, Aaron has been able to do that quite a bit. So it looks to me like a pretty good chemistry developing there, As you know, Baines isn't afraid of some physicality, and Kyle likes to use guys that can do that. So it's look good. It's look good.
Those minutes that OG had at the 5 in that Celtics series, obviously in the moment you're just consumed by the series, but how quickly did that register as, hey, this is something that we can carry forward?
I mean, I think it's good. Again, I like to remain flexible, and it seems like there's a number of series as we look back in the last couple of years anyway, that we've done things maybe not at all we were expecting to do, but the series presents itself, and then you get a look at it, right? So it's good. I think we could end up playing that way a little more, depending on who we're playing, or just, I don't know, maybe it ends up that way that our 5 best players are of that size, and we end up playing with that group. So we'll see.
Thanks so much, Nick. Be safe.
Thanks, Vivek. See you, bud.